Hello everybody, this is Compound Interest Stock Guy. Today in this video we're going to be talking about my friend Danby. He wanted advice about dividend stocks, so I'm just going to share some pieces of advice that I gave him. So stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, boom boom boom, give me thumbs up, boom 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 boom. Let's get it to 20-30 likes. Let's go. Let's get this video going. 200, 300, 400 views. Anyways, I want to disclose, not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment information purposes. Do not buy or sell based on anything I talk about. Buy or sell after you did your own research, due diligence, and you like the investments you're pursuing, or speak with a financial advisor. Oh yeah, so I'm here. Got some French baguette. Boom. Gotta have some French baguette, eh? No, it's not my favorite. Actually, at the place I'm at, there's a nice deli, and sometimes they have some really nice baguettes, but French is my favorite. But anyways, so my friend Danby, he's from Tofino, one of the beautiful places in Canada. Shout out to him. We've gone surfing before, some nice waves in Tofino. But he has some savings, and he wanted some advice about dividends, right? So I don't own any dividends. I have owned dividend stocks before. I've owned Yamina, YRI, gold stock, and I have owned Nilsy, and I don't own that anymore, but those had dividends. Nilsy has a pretty good dividend actually on the topic, but they don't get much volume, but they're a big player. But anyways, so what I told him is, I said, look at XOM, which is ExxonMobil. Oil price is about $33. It may come back down or whatever, but probably going to be up from where it's at in the next 6 months. So they also have a pretty good cash position, and their dividend, I believe, somewhere around like 6%. So it's pretty good. I also said in the oil space, I said CVX, because both of them are Dow players. I believe XOM is Dow. I'm not 100% sure, but I know CVX has a higher weighting for the Dow. So CVX, Chevron, oil. So I told them those ones, and they have good dividends. So I said, yeah, those ones. Also look at Altria, MO. So MO looks actually pretty good. I may actually buy some MO. Altria, 35.36. I looked at their balance sheet. They have about $5 billion in cash. They made, pretty decent. Like their PE ratio based on their last quarter was like 13 or something, like pretty good. They did pretty good sales. So, if they continually do good sales throughout this kind of recession, well, it's more like a depression, but who knows how long it's going to last. With maybe they'll have so much infrastructure dollars, like they'll spend like $20-30 trillion to reindustrialize USA, maybe take back their sovereignty, and instead of getting everything brought in from China and Japan and other countries, then they do more manufacturing in USA. But who knows? I don't hold the cards, but that is a thought. And if that does, that will kind of revolutionize the whole industries and how things are. Now, I also told him about McDonald's, MCD. I think there's like a 2%. Coca-Cola, KO, has a 3.6% dividend. I told him about Fortis, FTS. Fortis is a big utility company in Canada. Theirs is like somewhere like 4 to 5%. So I thought that was a good one as well. And I also said, what was the other one? Well, he asked me I'll get back to that if I think of the company. I also thought, Budweiser. I also told him about Budweiser, and I told him about BMO. BMO and I think Budweiser, they both have around like a 4% dividend. I could be wrong on Budweiser, but BMO is somewhere around 4%. Now when the stock goes down, because they're down where they're at, then the dividend actually goes up, the yield, the percentage of the stock you buy. So that is a nice feature on a dividend stock. But if the company starts losing money, they may cut their dividend, which companies can and they do. But there's no, these are companies that are less likely to do it because they have a moat around them. So he asked me, how does the money get to your account when you get the dividend? What happens if you have like $100,000 and you get a 4% or like a 1% every quarter, then you would get the $1,000 sent into your account that you have that stock in, and then you can take it out and withdraw it and spend money, buy a TV, or just use it for your daily expenses, or you can do all types of different towards another investment, or you can buy more shares. So that is kind of what the Warren Buffett does. He buys more shares with the dividends. But again, there's no right or wrong really with using the dividend, as long as you're not just like spending that money on some hard drugs, which would be very silly. And so I mean, that's what I said, and that's what happens with the dividend. He asked me, I told him that you want to have a company that they have a moat around them, and the companies in the Dow have a moat around them. They're not likely to go to zero. I also give him advice about having a stop limit, say like 20 to 25% stop limit. So you buy McDonald's at $40 and it goes down $10, it's going to stop out of your position. So then if it goes to $20, then you can reassess and see if it's a buy, but then you don't take that other $10 of loss if that's what happens. And then I said that if the stock goes up to 30% or 40%, then you can up the limit to a positive. So say you're up 30%, then you can put the limit at like 10%. So then there's no real way that the stock can go down unless it gaps down in the after hours to the next day. So that is a possibility, and then it would just sell immediately at whatever price it gaps down at. So that is a scenario. I mean, it's not necessarily perfect. I mean, because it could gap down and it could stop you out, and then all of a sudden it could go up like 50%, right? There's always going to be problems with any kind of investment advice, but over the long run, that kind of advice is, it's going to test the time. When you don't, set those perimeters, then you start eating up your account. But these are the better companies and the best companies, and these are dividend companies that if someone wants to build a dividend portfolio, they're definitely companies to look at. So that is what I told him. I also said, look at Bear ETF, like SRS. That's a pick from Wolf of Weed Street. There's other ones too. I said that for cannabis, the safest company is really Cron because they got a lot of cash. And that's pretty much what I have to say. I mean, this is great information for somebody who's thinking about having a dividend portfolio. I also said that you may not want to buy them all at once, right? Like say, you could just buy one or two, but it's better to kind of diversify. So you have like say 5 or 6 different companies. So say you had like $5,000, you'd put like $1,000 in every one if you had 5 companies, but you could just buy like say 500 at once and spend like 50% of that money and then reassess in a month or two. That's like a scaling in approach. And then you don't get that full position. I mean, it could work against you. Maybe the stock goes up, but if the stock goes down, then you didn't, buy it all at once, and then it goes down like a lot. So, but that is, a strategy in the investment world. So this is the advice that I told him free advice, great wisdom for viewers and subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit the thumbs up as well, leave a comment down below. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just in this sunny day at the park. That's my world, right? I'm just gonna see if I can see some birds, and yeah, I just want to make this little video. I thought that maybe this would be valuable for new subscribers and old subscribers to kind of hear my take on giving advice to my friend, and I think that's great, interesting information. So yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. If you got any questions on dividend stocks, or you got any questions on cannabis or commodity stocks or different S&P 500 companies, I'd love to engage in a dialogue of conversation with you guys. So anyways, keep compounding your info, listen to my lingo, and you got it. Compound interest stock guy, Audi. Shaka ka, peace.